Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vacharam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. So, any questions? Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. We are told in the Gita that we have to work for Krishna. So, if we see that we are not so interested in family life, if the attraction is not there, so is that a sign that okay, that is better to be a full-time devotee, or is it better to see whether you are, first accomplished outside and then decide? How does one handle that question?
In the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, actually Krishna gives a list of options for people how to serve him. What happens is every person's life is different and every person's life has its own challenges in taking up service to Krishna. All of us are born with our prarabdha karmas, so many past lives, so many reactions are pending. And to engage in devotional service to Krishna is not easy, especially in Kali Yuga, because the whole society is geared towards sense gratification, and that societal drive towards renunciation and dedicating oneself to the service of Krishna is not there, like it used to be in the Vedic ages. In the Vedic times, it was a very clear knowledge to everyone in the society. Panchashordhvam manam brajet. After 50 years, one must take up vanaprastha, and after another 5-10 years, one must take sannyas. This was a standard thing. Everybody would follow. There was, no need to tell anybody to do it. And to some extent, even now, that little bit of culture is there. About 10-15 years back, one of our temple devotees in Vrindavan, he is from Uttar Pradesh, but not Mathura region, some other part of Uttar Pradesh. And one day he came to me and he told me, Prabhu, I have to go home for 1 or 2 days and I'll come. So I got some work. So I asked him, is everything okay at home? Suddenly you're coming and telling. He said, no, everything is fine. I just, want to go and come. I said, okay, long time he has not gone. I said, okay, fine. So he went and came back after a few days, and then he met me and he told me why he went was because he got a message from his home that his father has left home. So when he went home, he said he found that his father was staying outside the village. So he went and met him. Why? What happened? Some fight at home or what? Sometimes people fight and then they run away from home. All these kind of things happen. So his father said, no, I have crossed 50 years. Now that's all. My children are there. All of you take care of the house. I'm no more required at home. He refused to come back. He said, this is it. 50 years over. Now I want to be outside the home and I want to dedicate myself to spiritual activities. So you see how that even in the rural areas in India, even today, somewhere some vestiges of that culture is still there, which is of course very fast disappearing. Cities, absolutely nobody has this understanding. There is no such understanding at all. But in the olden ages, it was a very common thing. In fact, even kings like Bharat Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, all of them at the peak of their youth, 35, 36 years old, peak of their powers, peak of their royal opulence and ruling over, emperorship over the world, in the midst of all that, they gave up everything and went to the forest to take up sannyas and execute devotional service. That was accepted at that time, and anybody would do this. It would be lauded by everyone. Everyone would praise it, and everyone would support it. So that action was very much accepted in the society and promoted by the society. That was the culture. So it was very easy for a person to dedicate himself completely to serve the Supreme Lord. Now what happens is in Kali Yuga, the matter is not so simple. It's quite complicated. So in Kali Yuga, people are so much directed towards sense gratification that they cannot understand what is this renunciation. Why do we have to renounce? Life is meant to enjoy the senses. Why should we renounce? What is this opposite thing you are talking? So it becomes difficult to convey to the people and make them understand. Actually, in Christianity, even today, if some young male member of the family or female member of the family decides to give up their material pursuits and become a father or a nun, the day on which the boy or the girl is going to join their church or whatever they call that, the whole family has a big feast and celebration, and they invite so many guests, and they are very proud that my son is going to become a father, my daughter is going to become a nun. So in Christianity, that sense of this one is there, understanding is there, that this kind of renunciation of material pursuit and taking up wholeheartedly the devotional path to the Lord is something which can be appreciated. That is there in Christianity. Although the Indian Vedic culture was the epitome of renunciation, now it has become reversed. Now we look at other religions and other cultures and see how they have this, but we don't have this. It has become like that. So, because of this and because of various other factors, in the Vedic times there used to be only Varnashrama Dharma. Everybody was following Varnashrama Dharma, so there was no doubt in everybody's mind what has to be done. Now, in Kali Yuga, there are so many religions. That's another complicating factor. Somebody comes in touch with Prabhupada's books, starts reading Bhagavad Gita, and he gets inspired and he wants to chant Hare Krishna, but he is from some other religious background. So he will face a lot of opposition at his home. So, due to religious considerations, due to social considerations, so much opposition is there in this world towards practicing devotional life. Now, Krishna in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he says that the topmost and best way to perform devotional service is to become fully absorbed 24 hours in thinking of Krishna, in meditating upon Krishna, and being absorbed totally in Krishna. But that is the stage of an Uttamadhikari. For us, even while chanting 16 rounds, to think of Krishna is very tough. Forget thinking of Krishna. Even during the chanting, to focus on, to remember that I am chanting Hare Krishna mantra itself is very tough. Where is the question of being absorbed in Krishna 24 hours? So Krishna says, if you are not able to do that, then we have to dedicate ourselves to serving the mission of the spiritual master. That is the next level. So when we serve, when we dedicate our life for the mission of the spiritual master and serve him 24 hours, then what happens is gradually one will get elevated to that Uttamadhikari platform. So Krishna says this is the second option. Now, that option also is not possible for everyone to follow. Somebody is already deeply involved in his family affairs, and there is a lot of restrictions for him. His children are not yet grown up. There is dependent father, mother. So many, obstructions may be there in a person's this one. Or he may be too much attached to his family to be able to give up the family. So Krishna says, okay, in that case, you dedicate all the results of your activities to Krishna. So whatever we do for Krishna. Now, that again is not possible for everyone. To dedicate 100% of one's results for Krishna, to work only for Krishna, that is again very difficult. Because we all, when we work, our motivation is, I'll be able to enjoy the result. Even if at home we are cooking something for Krishna and we are planning to offer something to Krishna, what we will do? Whatever is our favorite dish, we will make an offer. Because ultimately, that prasadam is going to come to me. So it's very difficult to give up that desire to enjoy the fruit of our activities. So Krishna says, okay, you are not able to give up the entire fruit of your activities for me. Then Krishna says, Okay, if you are not able to do that, give up a percentage of your result. Whenever I do some activity, some result is going to come up. If it is money, then a percentage of that money you give for Krishna. If I'm becoming a politician, at least some portion of that power I utilize for glorifying Krishna. If I'm becoming if the result of my activity is that I get a lot of knowledge, then some amount of time I spend for acquiring knowledge about Krishna also. So like this, a percentage of our results of our activities we can dedicate for serving Krishna. Now, there are people for whom even that may be difficult. There is too much opposition at home, or one may be from some other religious background. He knows that, Krishna consciousness is the topmost. I want to chant Hare Krishna, but I am from some other religious background. My parents, my relatives, they are all opposing. They will not allow me. So for such people, Krishna says, then if you are not able to do you are not even able to give a percentage of your results for me, then you do some charitable activities. You do some, build some orphanages, make some arrangement to distribute free food to the poor, some activity like that. So what happens is, by going on engaging in those activities, you will develop sufficient punya karma to be able to, in your future, maybe in this life or in some other life, you will be able to come to a position where you will be able to start serving the Supreme Lord without any opposition from one's home and other relatives and friends and other such people. So these are all the options that Krishna has given. The idea is that whatever is possible for us, we do. If it is possible, so suppose for somebody it is possible to dedicate himself fully for serving Krishna, he should not think, okay, anyway Krishna has given many options, so I'll do some charitable activity, that's also okay. No, these are all inferior positions. Krishna is giving lower and lower options, so that by doing those, gradually we'll come to the highest stage of becoming an Uttamadhikari. So it is not possible for everyone to become a full-time devotee. That is a very fortunate, only the most fortunate living entities will be able to achieve that position. If it is available, one should grab it, because if you are having a very valuable diamond, you are able to get it, then why should you not take it? It's as simple as that. Why should you give it up and take some artificial jewelry? So if it is something which you can afford, which is possible for you to get it, grab it. If it is not possible, then there are other options also. So it is not black and white. Either you become a full-time devotee or you are finished. It is not like that. You understood, no? So it is up to each devotee to use his intelligence and understand his particular position, and accordingly take a decision how and to what extent he can serve the Supreme Lord. Bottom line is, somehow or the other, we have to engage in Krishna's service. In whatever position, whatever way we are rendering service to Krishna, we should harbor the desire in the heart that one day I should be able to dedicate myself fully for serving the Supreme Lord and strive towards becoming an Uttamadhikari devotee. That should be the goal. That goal has to be there. Not that now I'm, chanting Hare Krishna, some small 5% of whatever my, whatever income is there, I'm giving that money to the temple. So that's enough, I'm satisfied. One should never be complacent. Understood? So the options that Krishna has given, it's not that these options, one can situate oneself there permanently. That's not the idea. Idea is, you take up whatever level is possible for you, then gradually elevate yourself upward. Just like when we tell someone to start chanting Hare Krishna, we tell them start with one round. So we encourage people, take a mala, chant one round at least every day. It will take hardly 10 minutes. So when we say that, it does not mean that whole life you keep chanting only one round. You have to gradually come to the standard of minimum 16 malas, and that also is not enough. You have to come to a stage where constantly you are chanting Krishna's holy name. Kirtaniyah sada harihi. That should be the goal. So the goal should be very clear. Ultimately, you have to understand, the Vedas also state, at some point of time or the other in life, we have to renounce our material pursuits and take up full-time spiritual pursuit. That is required. If not today, sometime in the future. Now, in the olden times, it was very structured. Okay, everyone has got some desire to enjoy in this material world. Okay, so for 25 years, you enjoy. After that, from 50 years, whatever level you have reached, don't bother about that further. No, little more I have to do, little more business I have to expand. I have almost touched this, the 100 crore valuation. Little more, 2-3 more years I'll spend nothing doing. Whatever you have reached, 50 years, drop everything there and get away. That means the Vedas are saying that it is compulsory for you to engage in renunciation. Not compulsory to engage in material household affairs. That's not compulsory. Because once you complete your 25 years of training under the Gurukula as a brahmachari, option is there whether you want to remain a monastic brahmachari or to become a grihastha. To become a grihastha is not compulsory. But 50 years, you have to take a vanaprastha and then sannyas, that's compulsory. That means without dedicating oneself fully, it is not possible to achieve the highest position of spiritual, the goal that we want to achieve of going back to Godhead. This is the reality. We cannot think that forever I can remain in this position, 2 legs in 2 boats. I'll enjoy, and I'll have material life also, and I'll follow spiritual life also. Forever you cannot do that. For some period of time we may do that, because that is the pressing need of the hour. If there is some pressing circumstance, if there is some, some kind of situation where you are not able to extricate yourself immediately, as an emergency measure we may do that. But it cannot be a permanent arrangement. That's the understanding. So it is up to each individual at what stage he has to position himself and at what stage he should be able to completely dedicate himself for the service of Krishna and the Guru. So that each individual because everybody's life is complicated. We cannot have a simple single line formula, do like this, that's all for everyone. Everyone has to assess his position, situation, and accordingly one has to work out what is the best way by which he can execute his devotional service. Ultimately, the bottom line being, I should not jeopardize my spiritual life in any way. That is the point. Is that okay? Any other question? Anybody else has?
In the Bhagavad Gita, I remember reading that you should do your duty and doing someone else's duty is dangerous.
Yes.
So how do we know what is our duty and what is his duty and what is not my duty?
Okay. When Krishna is talking about people doing their own duty and not doing others' duty, Krishna says doing one's own duty, however faultily it may be performed, is much better than doing somebody else's duty, however perfectly you may be able to do. That is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. There what Krishna is actually referring to is the Varnashrama system. In the Varnashrama system, according to one's nature, according to one's psyche, one is designated as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or a Shudra. Now, if my nature is to be a Kshatriya, then being situated as a Kshatriya, I should serve Krishna. I should not think, let me, Brahmana's position is better, let me become a Brahmana. That will go against one's nature, which will not sustain. Actually, that was the position of Arjuna. Arjuna was a Kshatriya. He had that fighting spirit in him. But still, at the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, what was he saying? He was saying, no, I don't want to fight, I'll give up, I'll take sannyas and I'll live by begging. So Krishna was telling him, although you may say this, later, after some time, what will happen is when all this Markata Vairagya, it'll fizzle away, then you will again, your hands will be itching to take up the bow and arrow in your hand. So there is no point, taking up sannyas like this, which your nature does not allow you to sustain. So therefore, Krishna is saying, be situated in your particular varna and ashrama, and according to that you perform your devotional service. So that is referring to the situation of a person who is properly situated in a particular varna and ashrama. That's how we have to understand. So in Kali Yuga, because everybody is varna, ashrama, everything is all got mixed up. In Kali Yuga it is said, Kalau Shudra Sambhavaha. Kali Yuga, everybody is considered a Shudra. So you do, others' duty doesn't, there is no duty actually, save and accept engaging in devotional service to Krishna. That is the only duty of everyone in Kali Yuga. Livelihood, you can have whatever, there are so many jobs you can take, so many businesses you can run. So livelihood, you can take up anything. As far as duty is concerned, duty in Kali Yuga is only one thing. Engage in Sankirtana Yajna, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, render devotional service to Krishna. That is how we have to understand. Is that okay? Anybody else, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So actually, what are happening with us is due to the past accumulation of the karma. So how and what is going to happen with us is also due to the reaction of the karma. How to understand this, Prabhu? I mean, how the things that are happening with us is due to the accumulation of karma and the reaction of karma.
How to understand means that's how it is. That's the law. So what is the difficulty in understanding this?
Yeah, I want to know that how do I visualize that the things that is happening with us is due to.
Well, I mean, there is nothing to visualize in this. The reality is that I may desire some future for myself. For example, if I'm a student, let us say I'm studying for the exam. When I study for the exam is coming close, I'm putting in hours of studies, referring various textbooks, notes, all these kind of things. What is my, intent behind that, putting that study? What is the desire? Desire is, I should get good marks, I should top in the exam, I should get 100 out of 100. That's everybody's desire, right? No matter how well you prepare, no matter how much hard work you put, ultimately how much marks you are going to get in the exam, do you have any control? You have no control, isn't it? You may write the exam and then walk out thinking, yeah, I didn't do it well, I could have done better. And then finally result comes, you have scored 96 out of 100. You will be shocked, oh my God, I thought I had not done so well, I got such good marks. It is beyond my expectation. On the other hand, you may walk out of an exam feeling very confident. Yeah, I did it very well. This exam was very easy. And then result aata hai, you got 50 out of 100. Arey, kya ho gaya bhaiya? Revaluation dalo, this one counting dalo. So many things you start doing. So you can understand that you execute an activity with a certain desire to achieve a certain result. But what that result is going to be, finally, no one has control over it. That itself shows that the result that I am getting is determined not just by my efforts alone. There is some other thing going on. Ultimately, there must be some cause, some decisive factor must be there, which is deciding how much marks I should get, how beautiful I should look, how much intelligence I possess. All and I may take care of my body very nicely, but do I have any guarantee that will I remain healthy or will I become diseased? There is no guarantee. When the pandemic struck, everybody went and got vaccinated. What was the desire? Desire was that I should not get affected by COVID. But even after getting double vaccinated, so many people died of COVID. So was something wrong in their desire? Were they desiring they getting vaccinated? They were desiring after vaccination I should get COVID and die. Nobody thinks like that. But then somehow breakthrough cases happen, people die. So the result is viparita. It is against what you have desired. It is against your efforts. So who decides whether my result is going to be successful or a failure? Who decides whether the vaccine I have taken will help me or it will not help me? Even the vaccine manufacturers accept. They say our vaccines are 60% to 70% effective. What does that mean? That means 60% they are sure their medicine will work, 40% they don't know what is going to happen. Who is deciding whether medicine will work or not? They don't know. That's the reality. So this itself shows that there is some other factor which is deciding whether the result of my activities are positive or negative, whether the result are going to be as per my desire or not. So what is that factor? That factor is called karma. There is no other way to understand this. There is no other explanation that you can give for this. If we say that result is directly proportional to my effort, like people tell, no, do a lot of hard work, nothing can replace hard work, go on doing hard work, one day you will be successful. Whole life you can go on doing hard work and you will never be successful. Possible, no? There are so many people who work as laborers. They are the people who work the hardest. And whole life he will be born in a labor as a menial laborer, he will die as a menial laborer. So what has all his hard work resulted in? He has not become Birla or Ambani. In this whole country, there is only one person who became Ambani by hard work. But we think rest of the 99 crore, 99 lakh, 99,999 people also can become Ambani if they work hard. It never happened, no? So what is the odds? 1 in 100 crore becomes successful by hard work. And we are thinking hard work is the secret of success. So many thousands of people participate in the Olympics. One person gets the gold medal and the rest thousands of people have failed. That means 1 in 1,000 gets successful because of hard work. That means rest of the people have failed. All their hard work has failed. We don't see that. We think, no. Hard work is the cause of success. Neeraj Chopra, he got a gold medal in javelin because he worked hard. So that guy who got a silver medal or bronze medal or the guy who did not get any medal, do you think he did not work hard? In fact, the guy who did not get the medal would have worked harder than Neeraj and still he did not get the medal. But we think, no. Hard work is the cause of success. Reality is hard work is not the cause of success. So result is not proportional to the effort I am putting. So that theory fails. Then what is the alternative theory? Alternative theory is, okay, all the result is by chance. You put your effort, sometimes the result comes nicely, sometimes it doesn't come. You throw the javelin, sometimes it goes to 85 meters, sometimes it goes to 88 meters. You may get the gold medal, you may not get the gold medal. Then where is the motivation to work? Why should you work? If result is entirely by chance, why should you work, sir? So let me sit and eat and watch movies and by chance the javelin will go and fall from my hand to 90 meters and I will get the gold medal. Is that theory? Is it practical? It is a foolish theory. It doesn't explain how things happen in life. So that theory also doesn't work. So then, what is causing results? What is causing result? The only theory that can explain is the law of karma. Only the law of karma can explain why the results go against our wishes. Why good things happen to bad people, why bad things happen to good people. If result is proportional to the effort, then why good people should suffer? Good people should never suffer, good people should always enjoy, bad people should always suffer. That doesn't happen. So result is never proportional to effort. You study whole year, hard work, you don't miss any class, you go to attend every class, every lecture, make notes, study all different kinds of textbooks, watch nowadays all online sessions, everything you do. And then you write the exam. and you pass with 50% marks. And there is this guy who sits in the last bench, who doesn't attend any class, who bunks all the classes, never reads anything, goes to all the latest movies. And then one day before the exam, he will go around from somewhere, he will leak the question paper. And he will study only those answers to those questions, and he will write and he will get 80% marks. Are, what is this? I studied whole year, put all the hard work, and this guy one day he worked and he got all the result. So what is the meaning? Why does the result not come according to the effort? So you can understand by this why result is not proportional to one's effort. That the theory of hard work being the result of success doesn't explain. Why good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people cannot be explained by the theory that work is according to your the result is according to your hard work. It cannot be explained. Nor can you explain it by chance. Result is by chance. Now somebody may say result sometimes is by chance and sometimes it is according to the hard work that we do. So therefore you have to do the hard work. Sometimes by luck, the result may come in your favor. Sometimes if luck is not there, it may not come. That again is as good as saying that result is all by chance. Why? Because if you are saying some results are by chance and some results are according to hard work, then you please define in your life which are the things which will give positive result by hard work, which are the results which are by chance. So those results which are by chance, I will never do any hard work for them. Those results which are going to give me, those results which are going to be coming out of hard work, I'll work only for them. No. Why should I blindly work hard for everything? And then, if result comes, I'll tell my hard work caused it. And if result doesn't come, I'll say bad luck. So why should I waste my time? So this theory doesn't work. It's not practical. It doesn't work. So the only thing which can explain the phenomena which we observe in nature, number one, why good things happen to bad people, why bad things happen to good people. Number two, why do some people get results disproportionate to their efforts? One day he studies and he gets this one. One guy, he just goes one day, whole, 30, 40 years he is lazing, doing nothing. One day he goes and buys a 10 rupee lottery ticket. Next day he becomes a crorepati. Why? What did he do to deserve all that money? So, result being not proportionate to the efforts. These two things, if it has to be explained, it can be explained only by the law of karma. So, we have to understand that the law of karma decides the results that we enjoy or suffer. It has to be understood by our logic and intelligence and according to the words of the Shastras. That's how we have to understand. When Krishna is saying that the results are because of our past karma, we have to accept that. So we have to have Shraddha. We have to have faith in the words of Krishna. And also there is logic to back that statement that Krishna is giving also. So both by logic and by the words of Krishna and by the words of great acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all of them have said that results are coming because of our past karma. So we have to accept that and then we'll be able to understand and we'll be able to relate with what all things happen in our life. Is that okay? Yes, please. So, where is the mic? Yeah. Some online question.
When person eats pizza and whether his tongue enjoys, mind enjoys or soul enjoys.
So if you eat pizza, what enjoys? Tongue enjoys, mind enjoys or soul enjoys? You tell me, who enjoys? You do one thing, you get me one pizza, let me eat and I'll tell you. The thing is, the point is, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye hi sansparsaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. Krishna says that the bhoga, the happiness that we get by sense gratification, arises out of contact of the senses with the sense objects. All sense gratificatory, all material pleasures in this material world are arising out of contact of the senses and the sense objects. What are the senses we are talking about? We are talking about the knowledge acquiring senses. The eyes, the ears, the nose, the skin, the tongue. These are the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. And the corresponding objects of the senses, what are they? Rupa, Gandha, Sparsha. The form is the sense object for the eyes. Sound is the sense object for the ears. Smell is the sense object for the nose. Taste is the sense object for the tongue. So, all these sense objects, when they come in touch with their respective senses, what happens? It gives us a certain experience. Actually, what is happening? I take a pizza, the same example. Let us say I take the pizza and put it into my mouth. Now, what is happening? The food particles are mixing with the saliva, and there are some nerve cells, some nerve endings, I don't know what they call them, neurons or whatever. They get triggered according to the taste that you are putting in. And that becomes an electrical impulse, and that goes to the brain. So actually what is happening? Some electrical impulse is happening. Now I am interpreting that electrical impulse as happiness. Pizza, so nice. So, suppose you have a friend who hates pizzas, okay, and you go and force him to eat pizza. What will happen? When he puts that pizza on his tongue, the electrical signal that is generated, is it any different from what you are experiencing? No, it is the same, absolutely the same. The same electrical impulse is generated, the same portion of the brain gets activated, it's all the same. But for him, what is this? Yeah, why are you giving me this pizza? Give me something else. He likes something else, you put that on his tongue, he'll feel very happy. So, the Krishna is saying reality is, material pleasure is just the combination of the senses and sense objects. But in our mind, what has happened is, we have made several concoctions. So, there is one concoction for pizza. If the pizza touches my mouth, it is happiness. In my friend's mind, the concoction is, pizza is distress. So, when pizza touches his tongue, he will feel distress. So, if pizza were actually giving happiness, no matter who takes that pizza, it should give him happiness. But it doesn't. Somebody likes pizza, somebody hates pizza. So that means happiness or distress is not in the pizza. It is in your interpretation of that contact of the pizza with your tongue. The interpretation of the contact of the senses and sense objects is interpreted by the mind in different ways according to the conditioning we have given ourselves, according to the influence of the 3 modes of material nature. So what happens is, if actually there were happiness in that pizza, number 1, it should give happiness to everyone. That doesn't happen. Number 2, in all circumstances it should give you happiness. That is also not true. You may ask how. For example, let us say you go to Pizza Hut and you order one pizza and you are waiting, your mouth is watering. Constantly expectation is building up. Now pizza will come, hot pizza, and with all the toppings and I don't know, whatever you like. And then the waiter brings the pizza. And then he brings the pizza on your table, dumps it on this one, useless fellow. You got no other business or what? Coming here and eating, eat this and get lost. What will you do? Will you think, whatever, pizza, so wonderful. Let me eat, I'm enjoying. Will you do that? No, what will you do, yaar? Why are you getting angry on me? Why are you getting angry on me? You're simply scolding me. I don't want your pizza, get lost. You will get up and walk off. What happened? Pizza is supposed to give you happiness. Why are you giving up and going away? That means your happiness you are enjoying from the pizza is also dependent on the circumstances. Suppose now you are eating that pizza, it gives you a little happiness. Okay. Now you feel like eating pizza one day. So you call your friend who also likes pizza, not the other guy. Okay. And you say, yaar, today, aaj man kar raha hai. Today I'm feeling like I want to eat pizza. Why don't we go? And he says, yeah, chalo, let's go. Let's go to this place, and you plan and you go and you eat. So buy 2 karo pizza, because 2 people are there. You have money only for 1. So you will do buy 2 and you eat half, he eats half. So why should you make it buy 2? If you had gone alone, you could have eaten the whole pizza all by yourself, no? Why do you take your friend along and give him half? Because with your friend, when you sit and eat that same pizza, it is more pleasurable. Although you are getting only half. You are getting lesser, but you are enjoying more. So you see how the circumstance is this one. Okay, another instance. Let us say you are studying in the hostel and you are far away from the home. And during COVID, 2 years you could not go home. Okay, after 2 years, finally you are going home. And your mother is waiting for you. And the moment you come, your mother receives you, she embraces you and asks you, beta, how are you, and all those things, and then, makes you sit, and then she says, wait, I got something for you. And she goes into the kitchen, and then she comes out with a hot pizza from the same Pizza Hut. And she cuts it and she says, come, I'll feed you. And with her own hands, lovingly she feeds you. How will that pizza be? Heavenly. So the same pizza, when that fellow at home at the shop, he threw it at your face and scolded you, you said, I don't want this, get lost. You rejected that pizza and walked away. The same pizza, when you are sharing with your friend, you are feeling greater happiness. The same pizza, when it is fed by your mother, you are feeling greater happiness. So where is this happiness coming from? Is it coming from the pizza? It's not coming from the pizza. It is coming from all the concoction you have made in your mind. So, actually speaking, there is no pleasure in the sense objects. This is the reality. Krishna gives a wonderful example in the Bhagavad Gita. Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha Daha. Krishna says, just like the winter and the summer, they come and go and they give happiness and distress. So, Prabhupada explains how, suppose there is, now it's March in Chennai, it's pretty hot. So it's afternoon and you have gone for book distribution, blazing heat. And then when you, after doing book distribution, you come back to the temple. And then there is, lemon juice, cold lemon juice which is kept. So nice, you will drink that. Prabhu, can I get one more glass? 2-3 glasses you will drink. So nice it is, isn't it? So it's to drink something cold in summer, it is very pleasing. Now let us say after a few months it becomes December and we take you on a tour to Vrindavan. Now in December in Vrindavan, temperatures will be 5 degrees, 4 degrees centigrade. Okay. And then we take you around to some temples and then say, okay, now prasadam is there. And night it is shivering cold, you are wearing jacket, sweater and all those things and you come. What is there, Prabhuji? We have got cold lemon juice for you. You'll say, Prabhuji, what happened to you? You are so nice until now. Something wrong with you. No. In summer you drank 3-4 glasses of cold lemon juice. No, that's why I made for you. You'll say, Prabhu, no. That is summer. Now winter, give me something hot to drink. So same cold thing in summer, which gives you pleasure, in winter it will not give you pleasure, it will give you distress. Why? Because according to the situation, circumstance, we interpret the contact of the senses and sense objects sometimes as happiness, sometimes as distress. So actually that means there is no happiness or distress in the sense object. It is all in our perception. Therefore, according to the conditioning that you have by the 3 modes of material nature, you will say something is giving me happiness, something is giving me distress. And if you change the mode by which you are controlled, the amount of the things, objects in which you take pleasure or you feel distress with will also change. Suppose, for example, there is a drunkard. Now, a drunkard, for him, what is the thing that gives greatest pleasure? Liquor. So whenever he gets liquor or alcohol, he will feel great pleasure, he'll great happiness. Today for him, somebody comes and gives 1 bottle of whiskey, today, big feast for him. Now same guy, let us say, he takes up chanting Hare Krishna mantra and then he stops drinking and all those kind of things, and he becomes a serious devotee. After that, somebody comes, some old friend comes. So after a long time, I'm meeting you, yaar. I brought for you one. I remember the old days. I brought for you one good bottle of whiskey. What will happen? That girl says, "Oh, what is this nonsense? Throw it out. Don't bring it into my house here." Arey, no, you only were the person who were liking whiskey all, in our college days. What happened to you now? No. All that is changed now. So what happened? You changed your mode. When you were in Tamoguna, that liquor, that alcohol was appearing very pleasing. When you situate yourself in Sattoguna, the same object will become distasteful. So, actually, our perception of happiness or distress is decided by the modes of material nature which are controlling us. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita in the 15, 16, those chapters towards the end, Krishna describes the three modes of material nature. In that, Krishna says, if a person is in Tamoguna, what kinds of food he will like, what kind of faith he will have. And if somebody is in Tamoguna, he will like to eat putrefied food, he will like to eat meat, he will like to enjoy alcohol. Somebody is in Rajoguna, he will like to eat food which is very spicy and all those kind of things, and which produces ama in the body. Somebody is in Sattoguna, he will like food which is very sattvic, food which is made out of milk and ghee and all that. Those things will be very pleasing to him. So this is a big science. What you perceive as pleasing or displeasing is actually the influence of the three modes of material nature. So ultimately, that experience of happiness or distress is neither with the tongue, which is tasting that pizza, nor it's in the pizza itself. That experience of happiness or distress lies with the soul. The soul is concocting various kinds of things in the mind and experiencing pleasure and happiness in this material world. So, the experience of happiness when we eat pizza, when it comes, that experience belongs to the soul. The mind, the intelligence and the tongue become the media through which we experience that. They become supporting factors. But otherwise, that experience actually lies with the soul. Whereas, in reality, that pizza has neither happiness nor distress. With my mind, I am concocting it and I am experiencing that happiness or distress when the pizza touches my tongue. This is how we have to understand. Is that okay? Yes, one last question.
Hare Krishna. How to constantly remember Krishna and not let other energies affect us when we are with non-devotees or in non-spiritual environment? Like, for example, in colleges or offices, or when we are like just hanging out with some friends.
First of all, why should you hang out with friends? Hang out with devotees, no? Then it will be easy to remember Krishna. So, this is like saying that, how to protect myself when I am entering the den of the lion. If you are entering the den of the lion, who can protect you? Nobody can protect you. Why do you want to go into the den? That is why Rupa Goswami also says in the Nectar of Instruction, Upadesha Amrita, that bhakti can be nurtured only when we reject association of non-devotees. If we remain in the association of non-devotees, if we continue to nurture if we continue to value and nurture our relationships with the non-devotees, that will affect our devotional service. Bhaktir nashyati, pranashyati. He says that bhakti will get destroyed. So, by engaging in there are 6 things that Rupa Goswami says will destroy bhakti. What are those things? 6 things. One is gramya katha, to engage in useless, frivolous talk. What happened here, what happened there, this happened, today's score is this much, this batsman scored this much, that bowler scored this much, this footballer did this, that footballer did that. The other day somebody shared with me some footballer, I don't know, Ronaldo or somebody like that, some famous guy. He went and took bath in his underwear and millions of people have watched that on live social media, and everybody is commenting. Watching somebody taking bath in underwear, in India it is very easy. You go to, any of the villages, you will see, openly you will see. What is the big deal to watch that on social media and become very popular and all that? So these kind of things are all, useless things. They have no meaning, meaningless things. Why engage in all these things? If you engage in such things actively, if you pursue such things actively, this is called Gramya Katha. This will destroy your bhakti. So don't do it. You have to reject all these things. You have to give up all these things. Then Asat Sangha Tyaga. We have to give up Asat Sangha. We have to give up the association of non-devotees. If we remain in the association of non-devotees whose goal in life is not serving Krishna, but to earn money, to enjoy wine and women and all those kind of things, then bhakti will not take place in the heart. It will get destroyed. Whatever little bhakti you have will also be destroyed. So therefore, we should not engage in those activities which are forbidden. So best is, you please read Upadeshamrita, whoever has asked this question, and understand what should be done, what should not be done, what is favorable for devotional service, what is not favorable for devotional service. If your goal is to come to the stage where you are able to constantly chant Hare Krishna, then those 6 positive principles you have to follow, which Upadeshamrita says. What are those 6 things? Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya, Tatat Karma Pravartanat, Sangatyagat, Sato Vrittehe, Shadbir Bhaktir, Prasiddhyati. Bhakti will get enhanced. You will come to the stage of being able to chant Hare Krishna mantra constantly if you follow these 6 principles. So please read the Upadeshamrita, understand these things and follow them. Then you will be able to, maintain that, achieve the desired goal of being able to chant Hare Krishna mantra constantly. So we should not expect to, heat the iron rod and then put it into the fire and expect it to continue getting hot. If our goal is to make the iron hot, then it has to be constantly in fire. If you keep dipping it in water, it's not going to help. So we should know what are the things which will destroy bhakti, and religiously we have to avoid them. And whatever is going to enhance my bhakti, we have to follow them. That's a simple thing. Okay, so we'll stop here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.